Okay, so now we've got our Ubuntu Linux CD up and running on our virtual machine. Now remember, everything in this virtual machine is going to run exactly as if it were a real machine. So if at a later time you decide that you like using a Linux operating system, you can use this exact same process to install your Linux onto your computer on a different partition. So now we've got our CD that booted up here. We have two options. One is to try Ubuntu, the other one is to install Ubuntu. Well, I already know that I like Ubuntu. I know that I want to use it, so I'm just going to go ahead and install. There's really no need for me to try. And make sure that you've got your right language here. I'm going to use English. You might not. So we will install Ubuntu. And you really want to kind of read all this stuff and, make sure that you've got the right power source and connected to the internet and blah, blah, blah. Connected to the internet is actually a really important thing because Linux really, a lot of the files and the things you need is going to have to download it off the internet. Not everything you need for an install is going to be on the CD or on the ISO, so make sure you are connected on the internet. I am going to go ahead and download the updates while installing, and I'm going to install a third-party MP3 decoding technology, blah, blah, blah. So let's go ahead and forward. Next, we're going to allocate the drive space. So because we're using a new hard disk, it's basically empty, whatnot, we're going to erase and use the entire disk. Now, if we were going to install this on our own computer, for example, a laptop or a PC or whatnot that is already running XP, Linux will find your XP installation, it will find all your partitions, and you'll see it up there. And you'll have the option to go ahead and install Linux on a different partition along with your XP, and then when you boot up your computer, you will have the choice to boot up into Linux or boot up into Windows. So I'm going to go ahead and select the drive. This is really the only drive that we have going on here because it's a virtual machine. We're going to go ahead and install now. Make sure that your keyboard layout is the right one for you. I am USA. Gonna have a click forward. My name, I'm just gonna do my Eric. Your computer's name, your name, Virtualbox, that's fine for me. Username, let me pick a password. It's weak, but it's cool. Nah, let me just choose a better one. Or so your password, you really, when you pick a password, you want to put caps and lowercase letters in there along with numbers. Make it a little bit challenging for whoever wants to hack in there. You can either log in automatically or require a password to log in. I'll just go ahead and require a password because later on I want to remotely connect to this computer, so I want a decent password. Now that we sat and waited and had some pizza and watched a movie, and came back, our installation is complete. We need to restart the computer in order to use the new installation. Let's go ahead and restart now. Now, it says here, please remove the installation media, close the tray. So how do we do that? We don't even have a CD. Well, we're going to go into our window here under Devices, CD, DVD Devices, and here we have our Ubuntu 10.10 Desktop ISO. Instead of that, we're going to click the host drive there. So if we click on here again, we've got the host drive instead of our Ubuntu. Or remove disk from the virtual drive. Well, anyway, host drive, there we go, and we press enter. And here we are, our fully functional Ubuntu Linux operating system inside of Virtualbox, inside of our home PC. And that's all we need to do to install a virtual machine, in this case Ubuntu Linux, onto our machine. Check us out on our next video. We're going to learn how to install a LAMP server. That's Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. With this, we're going to be able to host our own web server and have our own website on our home computer.